Welcome to today's explainer. Okay, let's dive right into this. Honestly, chances are, as you're listening to this right now, your neck is probably craned downward, right? Well, today we are unpacking a modern health warning that is literally staring us right in the face. We're looking at a viral graphic that's sounding the alarm on a totally modern physiological phenomenon. It's wild to think about, but let's explore how our everyday digital habits are quite literally reshaping our bodies. We aren't just looking at some generic medical warning today. We're diving into how our daily, seemingly harmless tech habits are being diagnosed and categorized in real time. Right off the bat, look at the framing here. Crisis rising. I mean, wow. This isn't presented as some mild inconvenience or a gentle reminder from your mom to just sit up straight. It declares a full-on crisis rising. It's totally designed to hook us instantly, framing a daily habit that literally all of us share as a high-stakes, escalating emergency. It forces us to just stop scrolling and really pay attention to the very device we're probably holding right now. The language, it's intentionally dramatic. Why? Because it needs to cut through all the noise of our busy, tech-driven lives and signal that, hey, this isn't something we can just comfortably ignore for another day. And you can see exactly what's at stake here in the background. This stark warning isn't just floating in a void, right? It's overlaid directly on top of raw, exposed human anatomy. By grounding that bold text over the intricate network of muscles and bones in the neck and upper back, it basically strips away the sleek, abstract nature of our technology. It forces us to confront the actual physical strain we're putting on our bodies. This instantly transforms the whole conversation from a vague, oh, screen time is bad concern into a very real, very physical reality involving the exact muscle groups that are probably holding up your head at this exact second. Now, let's look at the actual terminology being introduced. On the left side, we've got tech hunch, and on the right, the tech hump. Just think about how uncomfortable those words sound when you say them out loud. They definitely aren't soft clinical medical terms. Hunch and hump. They feel heavy, almost archaic, right? Actually pairing our sleek, modern concept of tech with the heavy, physical burden of a hump is just incredibly effective. It paints this vivid picture of a structural change that's honestly hard to ignore. It takes a concept we usually associate with convenience and innovation and links it directly to physical deformity. It makes the consequence of our screen time instantly understandable and, frankly, kind of unsettling. Now, what's really interesting about this is how the phenomenon is explicitly defined. Notice that it doesn't just call it a bad habit or a temporary ache. No, it elevates the tech hump to the new health issue. That is a massive shift in perspective right there. It's essentially a modern diagnosis for a modern era, suggesting that human physiology is actually maladapting to our digital behaviors right now in real time. By labeling it as a definitive health issue, it moves from being just a weird quirk of the digital age to a formalized medical hurdle that we're actively witnessing the birth of. It's a real game changer. So, who's actually caught in the crosshairs of all this? The text specifically notes that this is impacting thousands of young people. That gives us a quantifiable, massive scale, thousands. But more importantly, it highlights a highly vulnerable demographic. We are talking about digital natives whose physical development is happening right alongside their screen time. It's not just an issue of getting older or having a lifetime of bad desk posture, it's an active, immediate threat to youth. It really drives home the point that the bodies growing up with this technology are the ones bearing the immediate physical brunt of it. So the crucial point is, what's the root cause? Well, there's absolutely no ambiguity here. It's excessive cell phone use, not sitting poorly at a desk, not carrying heavy backpacks like we used to worry about. It draws a direct, straight line from the glowing rectangles in our pockets to physical deformity. But the key variable here, the really important word, is excessive. It implies there's a threshold, a tipping point where a normal everyday utility crosses over into a behavioral trigger for actual physical harm. It's a fascinating yet super sobering acknowledgement that the dosage really does make the poison, even when it just comes to checking our emails or casually scrolling through social media. Which brings us to the ultimate takeaway. We've seen the urgent language, the stark anatomy, and the blunt diagnosis of this modern crisis. But as always, information is only as useful as how we apply it. So let's do a quick posture check together right now. I know I just sat up a little straighter myself. Are you currently manifesting the very posture we're being warned about? The cause and the physical costs are crystal clear at this point. So the only question left is, are your moment-to-moment habits quietly contributing to the crisis? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll leave you to think on that.